Hey, so today I'd like to make a short video explaining what exactly a comprehensive financial plan is. Really want to address what are the key components of a financial plan and why is it so important to have one, and how do you use it as a guiding tool to make good financial decisions. So let's jump right in. First, what is a comprehensive financial plan? It's a dynamic, documented financial model. It guides your financial decision making and then enables you to reach your financial goals. So gone is the guesswork of whether or not I'll wake up one day and have reached my financial goals and desires, and replace that with a definitive model that shows you, hey, if you take these actions, you will get where you want to go. So there's 5 elements of a robust, comprehensive financial plan. The first is a cash flow management or budgeting plan. Financial independence is really sensitive to spending and to income. So managing your income sources and your spending sources and knowing what those look like will determine your level of success in achieving financial independence. Financial independence for you may be retiring early at 45 and traveling the world, or it may be retiring in a more traditional manner at 60, 65, or 70 and doing what you like with your free time. But really what it is you're stopping trading your hours for dollars and using saved assets to support your lifestyle. So the first element of this plan is a cash flow management or budget plan. So the first part of that is you need some kind of an expense estimate, a worksheet that shows what are you spending on, what are the categories it's broken down into, so you can use that as a baseline. And then what you also need is some kind of tool that helps you track what you're actually spending, so you can cross-reference it with what you think you're spending. If you think you're spending $5,000 a month, and in actuality you're spending $6,000 a month, whatever plans you have in place to achieve financial independence just won't work out. When you're off by a big margin, you won't get where you want to go. The second element of a comprehensive financial plan is a savings plan. So we need a way to determine, I have to save this much in order to achieve financial independence by this age. We can backtrack that and use a tool to have a financial model that guides us to the right savings rate that will lead to the amount of money we need at the time we need it, that invested in a certain way can produce the income we want. Which leads to the third element of a financial plan, which is the income plan. So the whole purpose of this is to have investments produce an income for you, so that you no longer have to do labor or go to a job and trade your hours for dollars, but you can use saved assets to produce that income. So the income plan is 3 parts. Really, what we need to think of is we need an income that will support our expenses. For most of us, what we're trying to do is take this green line on the bottom and extend it out and use our portfolio assets to support whatever gap in income we would need that doesn't come through other sources. Usually that gap is going to be supported. So this is a traditional retirement example here on the screen, but when a couple retires, they might have Social Security for partner 1 and partner 2. They might have a pension, they might have an annuity, and then what they have is this green bubble here of guaranteed income, but what they want to do is spend $23,000 more than that. Well, they need to fill that income from somewhere. And then what we need is a tool that can monitor how long our portfolio assets or our saved assets can support that level of income from the saved assets. Because the trade-off is always, as you draw down saved assets, they deplete. And if they deplete too early, you have to go back to work or the plan blows up. So this is the third element of the financial plan. It's the income portion, which leads to the fourth, which is the investment portion. So once we know how much we need to save, how much income we're going to need in order to support our financial independence goal, now we want to build the investment plan that can kick off that income. Or in phase 1, it would actually be the growth plan that would grow the saved assets so that eventually it can kick off the income. So we need a tool that can show us, hey, if we start with this type of investment portfolio on the left, we would move to the investment portfolio on the right, and that would solve our need. Now we need to actually create the investments that would go into that. That's a topic for a more detailed video, but that is the basics of an investment plan. And then last but not least, we need a tax plan, because taxes eat into the income that you get. And you have worked hard for your money, and if you make a plan like this, you will be working hard for your money, and you'd like to keep as much of it as possible. And the quickest way to do that is to choose or learn how to give the government as little as possible. So we need some kind of tax plan that says, hey, if we put assets into these types of investments, or we withdraw them in this manner or in this amount per year, it reduces the overall amount of taxes we pay. And again, a good comprehensive financial planning tool will help us set up the scenario and then figure out and quantify exactly how much less we'd pay in taxes. Okay, so that's a quick summary of the 5 elements of a financial plan or a comprehensive financial plan. So what's next? It's the process. How do you actually build one? So the main thing I'd like to get across in this video is good inputs create good outputs. So having good data and consolidating your financial life into one place is what will lead to good decision making. And too often we feel anxiety because we're making financial decisions in a vacuum or in the dark, not knowing the totality of our financial picture and just hoping that if we shoot shots or throw darts that they're going to land in the right place and someday magically we'll wake up and our financial life will look the way we hope it will. And most of us know intuitively that that's just not the case. So the process of building a financial plan is like building a house. You have to start in small increments. You start with a piece of dirt, and then you start putting, you draw plans, and then you put scaffolding in, and then you put insulation in, and then you put the walls, and then you put the roof, right? It's layer by layer, done slowly over time, that will produce the plan. The first step of any financial plan is really to create a financial dashboard. And I'm going to tab screens here in a second and show you an example of a financial dashboard. The reason you want a financial dashboard is because your financial life is complex and located in many places. You have a pay stub with your employer. You have investment accounts with your employer, investment accounts with a separate third party if you have taxable accounts that are not through retirement planning. You have cash accounts in one place, high yield savings accounts in another place, credit cards in another place, a mortgage in another place. And the problem is they're not all located in one central dashboard that you can see and then use to make good financial decisions. And that leaves us, again, like I said earlier, oftentimes making financial decisions in the dark because we can't keep all that stored in our head in an effective manner. Those numbers are always changing. You're paying down your mortgage. Your investments are going up or down. Your pay stub is changing based on tax changes. So let me show you a quick example. So this is a financial planning tool with some test clients in here. And this would be an example of a financial dashboard. Now, there's a bunch of different tools that you can use. One that's public, free, and common is something called Personal Capital, which would basically allow you, like I have here, to link your accounts of all different sources or types. So checking accounts, banking accounts, investment accounts, credit cards, loans, property values, all into one place so that you can see here a total net worth, how much you are worth on paper, and then item by item, the actual account and their balances that are pulled in real time. So you can pop into one place and see, I have exactly this much cash, and I have exactly this much credit card debt from all the sources of credit cards that I have. And I have exactly this much in investment value from all the different investment accounts, both me, my wife, whatever, share. So that is a financial dashboard, and that allows you to make better financial decisions because you can see everything in one place. So that's always the first step of a comprehensive financial plan. Using an electronic tool or a software tool for that will make your life much easier. And then here's just a quick list of standard financial planning recommendations, right? So the purpose of building the plan is to, 1, evaluate and audit where you currently are, but then 2, also create a roadmap, kind of like getting maps off of Google Maps or getting directions off of Google Maps. We want to create a roadmap that gets you from where you are to where you want to go. And this screen just shows a list of some, but not all, of the different financial planning actions that could be taken as you're building that house, so to speak. And then there's also the longer term of the financial plan. And I mentioned at the very beginning on the first slide that it's dynamic. And it's dynamic because things change in life. You have new purchase goals. Maybe you buy one house and eventually you want to buy an investment property. Or maybe you want to move up in house to a bigger house. Or maybe you want to move states, or your kids decide to go to graduate school and you want to help pay for that. You will have new funding goals over the course of your life. Or maybe you're retiring and you want to move from your current bigger house to a smaller house. There's all these different considerations that change over the course of your life. And so the plan is not a static thing. It's not a document you get and all of a sudden you just do it and assume that it will work out. You have to monitor it. You have to improvise and adapt over time based on the changes to your life. And so some of those things that you'll want to do on a regular basis, not just one time up front, are quarterly bookkeeping. Again, that's the cash flow management system. We want to ensure that we're meeting our savings target. or if we're in the drawdown period, ensure we're not exceeding our spending goal. Then we want to execute an asset location strategy over time. That's determining year by year, what types of accounts am I putting my savings into, because they all have different tax consequences in the current year, but also in the future when I want to take the money out. Then we have an asset allocation strategy. How do we change the investments, the risk level of our investments year by year based on economic or technical changes in the market, or changes in your personal life, like employment, your health, family conditions, things like that. We also want to have our investment strategy be dynamic. So that means year by year, even month by month, rebalance your portfolio, shift your investment mix, take profits from winners, cut losers, tax loss harvest. So there's a bunch of different things that go into that, but that has to be done on an ongoing basis. And then last but not least, we want to execute that optimal income strategy, which is if you're in that later phase of life or you're already in the financial independence portion and you want to start drawing income, well, we want to draw the right amount of income from the right amount of accounts. We want to liquidate the appropriate investments in order to do that. And we want to do that all with an eye on taxes and minimizing how much we give back to the government. So that's what a comprehensive financial plan is. As I usually do on this channel, I always recommend working with a professional when it comes to money. Mistakes are costly. I'm sure you know this. We've all been through that. The main thing is you don't get do-overs. So if you take a leap of faith without doing the proper legwork in the beginning, you'll be in trouble. My recommendation, as always, again on this channel, is to seek out a financial planner who is free of conflict of interest that come from them getting commissions or kickbacks or sales-related compensation. That the advisor or planner who is free of those conflicts of interest is usually going to be a fee-only fiduciary financial planner or advisor. And last but not least, there's plenty of good online sources, but I recommend, read our guides, find stuff online that can help you understand how to qualify a good financial professional. And next week, I'm going to be making a video that shows an actual sample financial plan, page by page, with the data input process, so you can understand what does an exact financial plan look like and how do we use it. So this was the broad overview. Next week will be the deeper dive. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Liking it tells me that you like this topic, and I'll make more videos on a similar topic. And then subscribing just makes it so that my videos get recommended to you when they do come out. I have been publishing weekly. I'll do more videos if I get suggestions or requests for specific topics. But thank you again. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next week as we go through a sample financial plan.